Okay, this is Backyard Accounting and Finance, and I'm your host, Rob. I do a lot of avid camping. I'll pan around to show that real fast to y'all, like into the video. Um, I'm 49 years old. I have a AA as a paralegal, BA in business management, and a master's in accounting. Um, I go to frame houses, and on the side, I go to mow some lawns once in a while. Also, I like to dabble into things such as this. This is where my mind's set at. Um I use this formula to be able to obtain my Jeep that I got. Is every vehicle I got, my Harley Davidson I got. Uh, Basically, anything I needed to help boost my credit to be able to obtain like what I needed, and you can too with this here formula. Now, before I mean this is all self-explanatory, but before I dive into it just a little bit here, is that if your credit is like a 550, if you follow this formula, you your credit could be as high as a 650 when it's done. Mine mine got up to about a 660, and I had a 540 is when I started this a long time ago. Um, but this is a fast system. Uh, this you only need one credit card to do this trick, and you'll get what you need. Um, Say that you went down and you wanted a boat that they're going to tell you that you need a 700, and say that you got a 550 or even a 630. You don't have that 700, and they're going to tell you, well, you got a co-signer. Even with all the, say for you put down tons of cash, they're still going to tell you that you need a co-signer. Everywhere you go, they're going to tell you you need a co-signer. You need a co-signer. So let's say that you and your wife or y'all are working the same jobs, but let's say your credit still falls into that 550. Say yours is 550, hers is 630. Okay. Um, the lender, whoever's going to do it, will look at that for the house, and they'll, of course, they're going to tell you that, if we do it for 20% down for the house uh, value, that we can do that, but they much rather see this score be around this score. Um, so even if you have hospital bills, things like that, uh, don't let that interfere with you, because a lot of people out there have tons of hospital bills uh, that they just can't pay off. That'll be on your credit for 7 to 10 years, and then it falls off. Every time you do a credit check on anything, such as getting a card, there's going to be soft hits and hard hits. But you always want to remember that even though you say, "Oh well, they're not going to take anything from this hit," uh, if they approve you, they're going to hit you to 3 points. So always assume it's a hard hit, no matter what. A soft hit will normally come off before the 2 years, and a hard hit will come off at 2 years. So if you have a lot of hard hits, is that for trying to apply for something, is that you'll rack them up, but then as soon as over time, say if you got 15 hard hits all in 1 month, well, that's 30 points that you just went down. So now you're at a 520. So now in 2 years, if your 520 don't go nowhere, it'll go to 530, but it should go up on something. Um, you can get onto a like website just like Credit Karma, and that's free to get onto. You don't need to go on and tell everybody your business about how much money you owe, because the truth is those people that you're calling up to help you give you some advice, they're charging you because you're online trying to seek help, trying to obtain, you know, that little house that you want is, and that's just how that is. Um, they don't care if you want this. They don't care if you want a motorcycle. They don't care if you want a boat, or they don't care if you want to fix your credit. They just want this right here from you, and it could be $200-300 to be able to do that. And like then they're going to get on there and they're going to give you like a time frame, and they're going to try to tell you that they're going to consolidate everything, and you're going to just have one payment. It it sounds all good, but the truth of the matter is that you're not going to be able to pay that. To get to this, follow this, and it'll lead you to whatever you want to get. Um, if you cannot, like on Credit Karma, they have an area there onto their website where it shows the cards that you're eligible for, and they'll tell you that if it's fair, that you can get one, or if you have a high thing to be able to get a card, or if like it'll basically tell you that your chances are zero for this card. You're going to have to go for a prepaid card, and the bottom line is on a prepaid card it's going to be a $200 card. You're probably thinking, well, what can I do with a $200 card? Well, hey, I got a Jeep, I got a Harley, and I got 2 other trucks, and then I got other things too because of a $200 card. That'll allow me to go through this. Is that what you do now? If you cannot get the prepaid card just yet, there's furniture stores out there, not like Rent-A-Center, where you're paying by the month. You want to go to one that's actually going to report to all 3 credit bureaus. So each month after you make that payment, they're going to report, and that'll up your credit. Like it'll show some type of credit history. You're making that credit history. Don't go out there and get something that's out of your means. Stay like, you need a couch or a chair or something like that, that you can actually get. If you want to, you don't like your dining room table, get you a nice dining room table. But spend something in a budget where it's low and it's easy to make those payments on time, and it's not going to interfere with anything else. Is that if it's $80 a month and you can afford that with you and your wife, then get that one. And then in a year or two like that, it'll be paid off. But at the same time, it's showing that you're making payments. So if you can't get the prepaid card, but you're making payments on to the chair or to a piece of furniture, is that when you're on Credit Karma, you go on there and you look, and it'll start to open up prepaid cards for you. So now with the prepaid card, is out of the $200 one, they're going to say, depending on what your credit is here, like if it's a 650, they're going to say you probably have to pay $99. So if you get approved for that $200, pay the $99 online. So it's paid up and paid off. So when the card comes to your house, it's paid off. You're going to start with the first month when you get the card. Don't do nothing with the card. Wait 1 month. And then, because your credit's going to come down, and then it'll fluctuate back up a little bit. The very first month after that, so it would be the second month actually, you're going to spend $50 of that card. So you're under the 30%. So you're under 30% of that card's value. Of this card's value. So now you want to do it said every time you spend anything of that card, you're going to spend it on the first of the month. And then when you get on to the 10th of each month, pay it off. Because the credit bureau actually updates everything on the 11th, 12th, and 13th of the month. And a lot of people think I can go ahead and I got 30 days to pay, and they wait till the 25th or the 26th to pay, and then they notice that even though they're making on-time payments onto their card, that their credit score is dropping. You want to make sure that you pay it off on the 10th so it rises. So this will turn into this, or possibly go higher to a 650, 660, and the 630 could go to a 680 or even a 700. But if you follow this, so the first month, you do not do anything with the card. It's already paid off, so you have to wait a month. So it's willpower. You got to have a goal here. So the second month is that, I should have put second month. But what you want to do, you want to spend $50 of that card. And then on the 10th, pay it off. So now, then you have to wait till the 1st again. So back on the 1st of the next month, so if that was the second, this is the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th month. So in 6 months, you'll see a significant jump in your credit score as long as you keep following this guideline. So you want to start off with 50 on the 200 and then go 20% of that, 15%. So like all you got to do is just go 200 times 15% and it'll tell you how much that card's value is. Just like 200 times 10% is $20. So you're looking at 25, probably 30, and here like that's going to be almost 30, so that's probably right at 25, 26% or something like that. But when you get down here to the 7%, that's where it ends. You can't go down no more lower because it just won't do anything. Is that when it gets down here, it'll say that you're really doing good because it's keeping it way under this number for the 30%. So in 5 to 6 months, you'll see a big jump. But once you get here, you'll see the biggest jump of all because you're coming down from 10 to 7. Don't go 15. Yeah, like don't go 20 to 7. You got to format it down. So the credit bureau sees that it's coming down. Think of it as like an algorithm. Is that you're bringing that algorithm down slowly in the steps. And once you reach the final step, you'll see the big boost from 550 to 650 or 660, and you'll see the 630 to 680, 690, or even 700. Now, rich people, I will just tell you this, rich people, they only spend right here this amount of their card. That's why they have an 800 written across the board. They'll have 810, 20 beacon, but they'll have 3 cards. They'll have one card that's $50,000, another card that's $100,000, and say their third card is $30,000. And what they'll do is they never mess with their money that they're making, like over their cash that they're bringing in. That's why they stay rich, because they can take that money and invest it, just live off of what they need to live off of, and live good, by the way. But they have the credit cards and they revolve their credit cards over and over and over. So they're living off the credit card. Now, you're probably thinking, well, that's going to catch them sooner or later. And as long as they got money coming in, if they get in a little tight jam, say if they spend too much of the card, say on one, they spend over $3,000 more, well, they're going to have to pull out of their money that $3,000 to pay. But as long as they are playing with certain numbers throughout the month, that's why they can afford to go on trips all the time. And you're wondering, you're wondering how your friends be able to go on all these big old trips. Oh, they're going to Walt Disney all the time. They're going here. They're going there. They're renting this. They're renting that. How do you keep up with that? It's because they're revolving their credit cards over and over and over again. But they don't go out of the means of the first one. So you follow this pattern here with that $200 card or with any credit card that you have. Pay it off. Pay it up front. And then just follow through with that. So the first one is that it's got to be at least 25% of like whatever card you got. If it's $1,000, it don't matter. The next one, you'll see a jump. You'll see a big jump. So it don't matter if it's a $200, don't matter if it's a $300 limit, don't matter if it's a $500 limit card. You'll see that jump as soon as you get down to 7. as long as you start off with it being fully paid off, or if it's a brand new card that you got, or even if it's a prepaid card that you got, and then once you get down to the 7%, it'll be there. But again, if you have one card for, say, like one guy has a credit card of 30,000, and the next one is 100,000, and the last one is $50,000 credit card. Well, they're going to be living with all their money that they're getting over here somewhere, that they're working, or their business or something that they got. They don't mess with that money. They actually take half of that money and they invest it, or they take 3/4 of it, because they're making just enough to get by and be able to bail themselves out of here. So if you're following some type of plan here, right here at 7% on all these cards, you times that, and that's what's going to tell you what you can borrow against each card. But what they're probably doing is they're only probably using 5% of each card to make it through. So what's 5% of like 100,000? You know, I ain't got my calculator on me, but is that you catch the point? So that way this card will be the big card, and it'll pay this one, and well, yeah. If they got 100,000, 50,000, and 30,000, like one card's going to pay the other card. So this one, so let's erase that for a minute. So let's say that the 100,000 pays the 50, and then the 50 pays the 30, and the 30 comes back to the 100, and that's how they revolve their credit. But they're using probably 5%, 2%, or it could be all 5%, but it's just enough to where they can figure it out to where they're spending $7,000 or say $8,000 a month. You know, if you want to be in that bracket, and they don't mess with anything, you know, because they're revolving the credit. But once they go out, say, let's say they go out, say, let's say it's all 7% on each card, and let's just say, for hypothetical, they are getting $8,000 a month to do whatever they want to. But let's say one month they end up spending $10,000 for their credit. Now, it's, what you're looking at is they got to bring their business money and pay off the difference of that 2,000, and then they're right back in that cycle again. So as long as all these are still paying the 8, they just put the 2,000 back in, and it brings it back down to 8,000 that they're spending. But if you follow this path, it don't matter if this is $1,200 or $2,000 card, but as long as the first month that you wait, second month, let's go ahead and change that to your second month right there, and that's the second month you start. So it don't matter what the value is here, you're going to spend probably 25% of that card, 20%, 15, 10, and 7. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months total time, but you could probably have it done in 5 months and be at the credit score that you need to accomplish getting a house, getting that next car or that truck, or say if you need a like a work truck or something, and that's what you need. And they keep telling you that I need a cosigner, and you have no cosigner, even if you got all the money to put down. As soon as you get that credit rating, that drops that cosigner and you don't have to put down as much money, because they're going by that number here, because that number after 5 or 6 months now went from 630 to 685, and your 550 just went up to 650. So you just jumped 100 points, so that you're in that ball game to get whatever you want then. So I hope this video helps, as it has helped me in the past, as long as I just follow this down. So in 5 or 6 months, you should be good right where you're at. And this is Backyard Accounting and Finances. And we'll get some more content out to you. Thanks a lot again for watching. And please like, subscribe, and share, and comment, because it is going to help out the channel. Bye for now.